Hey guys, real quick, these two albums we're reviewing are the last couple of Patreon stragglers that either hadn't been released yet or were tied up by other things to get done timely. After this, Patreon is completely caught up. Yay! But I just wanted to give you all a little heads up. After this video's done, things may go quiet for a little while. Know why? That's why. I want to try to get this out before the end of the year, like I've been promising. I will try my bloody damnedest, and this episode is actually going to be a little shorter than all of the others. You'll understand why when you see it, trust me, but I do have to devote a lot of time to getting it done. So if things go quiet, it's only so we can go bang later, okay? Cool? Cool. Oh god, another duo, another goddamn fucking goddamn duo. Sweet Jesus, when is this fucking trend gonna end? No, it hasn't been all bad. It's been pretty good in a few places, to be honest, but when it's bad, or even when it's just mediocre, it just sits on my tits. And 68? Oh, well, look, honestly, my hopes were pretty high for this one, I promise. I've heard nothing but good stuff about these guys, they're critical darlings, and people in general just seem to like them. But please, pretty please believe me when I say I walked into this album with nothing but the most hopeful and positive attitude I could muster. And then I quickly turned around and walked the fuck out. I hated this thing. I just hated it. I'm sorry, I spun it 3 times, I gave it multiple chances, I studied the lyrics, the band history, I did everything I bloody well could to try and like this thing, and I still want to tie it to the railroad tracks and snidely whiplash the fuck out of this goddamn record. Oh, how should I go about this? Let me address the buts.
But Crash, this isn't any old duo. They're like the Black Keys if they were hardcore.
Okay, for one, the sheer existence of that sentence has made me nauseous. Excuse me for a second. And 2, you know, I see where you're coming from, but look, it still isn't all that great. Is it a unique take? At least more unique than these bands usually are? Sure, I can give it that. It does sound like a duo group if they chucked the blues factor almost entirely out the window and supplanted it for more of a full-blast hardcore approach. It's interesting, sure, but is it good? I'm not impressed. It still possesses a lot of the worst qualities of this kind of music. Instead of writing a lot of compelling hooks or melodies or impressing us on any technical level, it just turns the fuzz pedals all the way up and calls it a day. Instead of blending technical prowess along with the full blast aggression, it just cranks the aggression up to extra full blast, and that's all you need, right? That's all you need. It's done. We don't need to do anything else. Not in my book, bucko. I'm not impressed. And part of it is just the generally sloppy construction and just overall not impressive song structure, but part of it is also the fact that you can only do so much with one guitar, one set of drums, and occasionally a synth, but not too much or we'll have to hire another guy, and oh no, man, can't do that. And while the attempt is novel and certainly original, it's just not enough to save it in my book.
But Crash, this album is from the same guy who used to sing for Norma Jean and the Chariot.
So why is he singing like an absolute fucking twat? Oh my god, what the fuck is Josh Scogin trying to pull with this vocal delivery? He's crazy mumbly, insanely incoherent, and often purposefully off-key in a way that I'm sure he thinks is charming and original, but it just makes him sound like the kind of guy who wears douchebag sunglasses everywhere he goes. I could do my sucky butt and gonna do big on. He sounds like Julian Casablancas after 3 scotches and 2 oxys. 60s doing a really shitty, condescending Kurt Cobain impression while in the midst of a painful herniated shit in an echoey Taco Bell bathroom. This guy just thinks he's God's gift to women on this thing, doesn't he? But I'm listening to this and all I hear is everybody loves butthole to fire. And my pussy sure as hell ain't moist, let me just tell ya.
But Crash! The lyrics?
What, the same old generic shit about being a rock star and dying young? Oh my god, man. Motherfucker, you aren't even Julian Casablancas. You sure as hell aren't Neil fucking Young. Get that shit out of my house. I looked up these guys on Genius, but I found an excerpt from an interview with Josh about the song No Montage that I think sums up this album thematically almost to a tragic perfection. I have nothing really interesting to say about this song. Whew, you and me both, amigo. You and me both. Look, I promise, I'm not trying to piss on your parade here. If you do like this thing, I mean, mazel tov. In fact, for as much as I'm bitching, yes, I can see why people are digging it. It is somewhat of a deviation from the typical norm of the rock duo, at least from the one we've seen in the last 5 years. Hey, props to them for at least being kind of original. If you like this train, don't let me derail you or anything, but look, I tried to get on this train, but there are too many factors on this train that piss me the hell off, and I went off the goddamn train. I really went off this goddamn train. Dress up like Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito, call me mama, and throw me from the train if you gotta, but I am just not feeling this. I'm sorry, people. 2 parts Viper gets 2.5 parts Viper out of 5. Okay. First thing I need to say to Toothgrinder right off the bats, you guys should hire a new art department, like, fast. Look at this logo. Look at that type font. All of this just screams, we want to be Mastodon, and I don't want you guys getting caught in a lawsuit or anything, okay? Especially since from what I heard on the album, you guys sound nothing like Mastodon, so look, I'm just trying to keep Brent Hines off your ass. That dude looks like he'll sue you and eat you afterwards. But anyway, no, what I heard on Phantom Amour, or to give it its more literal title, Ghost Love, was a far cry from a lot of the metal I've heard this year. If I were to put it into 2 words to help make it more easy to understand what they're doing here, chill metal. Or maybe I've just made you more confused. Let me break it down for you. See, what these guys are making is definitively metal music. Make no mistake. It has all the grit, intensity, and energy that you'd expect from a good heavy release. Huge bass work, pounding drums, the occasional throaty scream and searing guitar here and there. Good stuff overall, but they deviate from the more traditional metal soundscape by incorporating a lot of excellently affected and echoey clean singing. A lot more polished and harmonious guitar work in addition to the edgier stuff, and some nice, lofty synths laced throughout most of the songs to help create this airy, wispy, relaxing kind of mood. The words metal and relaxing probably don't blend very well together. Well, I mean, if you aren't a dyed-in-the-black metalhead at least, but this stuff soothed the hell out of me. And for metal, yeah, that's kind of an odd combination, but I like it. It's rather unique in its own weird little way, which it makes it hard to draw comparisons to other bands in this case, but I got kind of a big Tesseract vibe from this album. Maybe a bit of Carnival flavor thrown in there. The slower parts of Periphery, most definitely. But the thing with this band is they don't sound like any of those in particular. It's more of a straight-ahead metal kind of feel. It isn't djenty or proggy or anything that any of those other bands are. It's just kinda this weird metal album that also feels like it's giving you a wicked shoulder massage while you listen to it. Honestly, I was quite surprised by what I was hearing here, especially since the person requesting this happened to tell me that she was actually really worried about this album. Oh, that seems odd. What on earth would make her feel that way? Okay, hang on a sec. I'm gonna do a little thing here. Oh, okay, this is their second full-length album. Okay, their first one dropped a few years back. Just out of curiosity, what does that one sound like? Oh, okay, I get it now. So, yeah, this vibrant, swaying, relaxing brand of metal they're making on this album isn't what they used to make, let me tell ya. This band is obviously making a very hard right turn with their approach here. These guys used to be way more aggro, so I get why people may have been concerned with this album. I guess this serves as a fair warning to people that are perhaps into this band's older sound. This ain't that, like, at all. In fact, the difference between these two albums here is a bit on the jarring side. It would be like hearing about the most bitchin' party on the block, only to walk in and see that the entire apartment is on fire. But, I don't know, speaking as an outsider looking in, I didn't get a bad vibe from this. In fact, I dug this album more than a lot of the stuff I heard on their last one. Not that that was bad, it was just more kind of typical metal stuff. I kind of heard what they were doing before in other places. This approach is actually a bold new direction, and I dug the risks they took to make an album that feels so different from what a typical metal release would often sound like. And to take that kind of risk on a second album, when everyone and their mother who doesn't like it is just going to instantly scream "Sophomore slump" at you, hey, that takes a lot of guts. It makes me kind of respect this album even more, if only just for the balls it has. And while the whole chill metal vibe isn't something I would listen to all the time, it's a bit situational, I have to give props where they're due. These guys have a very unique way with it. I don't know how their fan base is reacting to this record necessarily, but if they aren't crucifying them or anything, I wouldn't mind seeing these guys develop further in this direction. I think there's a real spark of creativity here. This band obviously has a bit more to them than your average heat seeker. I think I'll be keeping a loose eye on these dudes to see how they develop. I mean, if Mastodon doesn't sue them out of existence, you know, dudes, seriously, a new art team now is going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars later. Just trust me on this, okay? Phantom Amour gets 4 Ghost Loves out of 5.